Day number 2 of the First State Showcase brings us back to the Gold Arena here on the campus of the University of Delaware, and pitting two teams against one another, one of them from the city of brotherly love, the other one an hour north of the Mile High City. A pleasant good afternoon and a hi, hello, and welcome inside the Gold Arena here on the campus of the University of Delaware in Newark, Delaware, as we get set for game number 2. On day number 2 of the first ever First State Showcase here at the University of Delaware, and today's matchup number 2 of the day and 5 of the weekend, against the Colorado State University Rams, pitted against the Villanova University Wildcats. My name is Trey Wright, here on tonight's broadcast from the Gold Arena here on the Delaware Hockey Network, broadcasted on the 412 Communications. Glad to have everybody aboard here for today's game against the Rams and the Wildcats, and it's going to be a great one here today. Starting off with the Villanova University Wildcats, they absolutely drubbed the John Carroll University Blue Streaks yesterday. A 6-0 thumping of the Blue Streaks with Dmitry Kapranov, a 25-save shutout. And this is a Villanova team that is looking to be one of the hottest teams going into the 2026 end of the season. They were one of the hottest teams coming out of 2025. And it's all thanks to, in part, of their special teams. A penalty kill that's ranks top in the ACHA, the entire ACHA M1 at 96.4% on the kill. And the third best power play in ACHA M1 as well, with a percentage of 38 even. But Villanova is going to be going against their toughest competition of the weekend as they take on the number 22 ranked Colorado State University Rams. And this is a team that went toe-to-toe, bar-to-bar yesterday for 60 minutes, 59 and 45 seconds against the Stony Brook Seawolves, with Stony Brook scoring with 15 seconds remaining in yesterday's game to win 3-2. A heartbreaker for the number 22 ranked Rams, but they look to get back in the saddle here against a Villanova team that's equally hot. We're in store for a great matchup here on Gold Arena. One of 3 different games will be played here at the University of Delaware. Of course, right now we've got the Stony Brook University Seawolves against the Grand Canyon University Antelopes. Both those teams winning last night, with Stony Brook beating Stony Brook beating Colorado State, my apologies. It won that 3-2 heart-stopping finish, and then an equally heart-stopping finish there with Grand Canyon taking down the Delaware University Fighting Blue Hens. Delaware will take on the John Carroll University Blue Streaks later on tonight. That, of course, is then, and this is now, glad to have everybody aboard here for the entire weekend for the First State Showcase. But taking a look at tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the Wildcats, coached by John Moores. They're going to get their top unit out there with the number 16 of Michael Bianco, the team leader in goals. He and the 8 of Brendan O'Brien will be centered by the number 71 of Charlie Davis, the team leader in points. And back on the back end, Davian Peretti and the 3 of James Reagan will be starting on the blue line, and John Moores is going to go to Lou Larada, playing in his 5th game of the season. He is 4-0 on the season for the Wall Township, New Jersey native, and the senior looking to get things going here for the Wildcats. And then on the other side of the ice for Colorado State, coached by Alex Lakowski, they're going to be going with their top unit as well, with the 28 of Carrick Stevens, leader in pretty much every offensive category for the Rams, with the 14 of Aiden Von Felt and the 20 of Robert Grosso. On the starting forward line, the 15 of Cole McCozak and the 8 of Makai Mitchell will be on the blue line. And getting the start here for his first start in 2 months after an upper body injury early on in the season, Chamberlain Nocera will be kicking things off here between the pipes for the Rams. He comes into today with a record of 3-2. We'll get in the particular goaltending averages and statistics on the other side of this break, but it's Rams Wildcats coming up here in just about 3 minutes' time, live from the Gold Arena in Newark, Delaware. It's game number 2 of today's triple-header matchup here on the Delaware Hockey Network. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back here in just a moment.
Recovery from an injury on the job or in a car accident can be overwhelming. The expert team at the law office of Heather A. Long can carefully explain your options and advocate for you through the process of claims, proceedings, and settlements. To schedule your free consultation today, call the law office of Heather A. Long at 302-466-5664 or visit injuryde.com.
Whether you're a competitive athlete or a weekend warrior, a sports medicine physician is an important player on your health team. With over 10 years of treating high school, collegiate, professional, and everyday athletes, Dr. Brad Bly of Delaware Sports Medicine is the specialist you need to achieve personal bests and lead a healthier lifestyle. With clinics in Wilmington and Townsend, Delaware Sports Medicine is here for every athlete in your family. Visit desportsmed.com today to learn more.
Broadcast to social, print to digital, coast to coast, remote or on-site. 412 Communications has the solution to bridge your team with your audience. Want to know more? Visit 412communications.com today.
There's nothing all-American quite like a good old-fashioned barbecue. Sid's Barbecue and Jerky brings the most tender and flavorful pulled pork, brisket, and barbecue chicken to the tri-state area and is sure to turn your next gathering into a truly all-American event. Visit Sid's on Ridge Road in Claymont, Delaware, or place your next catering order at sidsbbqandjerky.com.
And we welcome you back inside of Gold Arena as the Rams have come out onto the ice with the Wildcats soon to follow. So we get in a look at today's sweater matchups with the Colorado State University Rams wearing their road green uniforms with gold and white accents. No nameplates on the back, but easily to read. There actually are nameplates on the back, my apologies. Nameplates on the back in an easily able to read white font. And Villanova coming in with their home white uniforms with blue and white accents there for the Wildcats as we get ready to send things downstairs inside the glass to Eli Swope, who will give us the starting lineups, pregame ceremonies, and the national anthem to get today's game underway between the Colorado State University Rams and the Villanova University Wildcats, live on the Delaware Hockey Network. Don't go anywhere, folks, as we send it downstairs to Eli.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gold Arena on the campus of the University of Delaware for today's ACHA First State Showcase matchup between the Colorado State Rams and the Villanova Wildcats. Let's meet today's starting lineups. First, for the Colorado State Rams, starting at forward from Los Gatos, California, number 28, Carrick Stevens. From Nunn, Colorado, number 14, Aiden Von Felt. At forward, from Broomfield, Colorado, number 20, Robert Grasso. From Minneapolis, Minnesota, number 15, Cole McCozak. At D, from Fort Collins, Colorado, number 8, Makai Mitchell. And in goal for the Rams, number 1, Chamberlain Nocera. Your Rams are coached by Alex Sarkovsky and Justin Rudrow. Now, for the Villanova Wildcats. Starting at forward, number 16, Michael Bianco. At forward, number 71, Charles Davis. At forward, number 8, Brendan O'Brien. On defense, number 27, Damian Peretti. And number 3 on defense, James Reagan. Starting in goal for the Wildcats today, number 1, Villanova. Your Wildcats are coached by head coach John Morris, assistant coaches Mark Bacco and Sean Martin. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please rise for the national anthem.
It is go time here in the First State for game number 5 of the weekend for the First State Showcase here on the campus of the University of Delaware. One final look at today's starting lineups for the Rams. It'll be Stevens, Von Felt, Grasso, Makozak, Mitchell, and Nocera, the starting 6 for the Rams. And then for the starting 6 for the Wildcats, it's Bianco, Davis, O'Brien, Peretti, Reagan, and Larada making up all 10 skaters and goaltenders. Will be on the ice here for the opening shift. A little bit of a cozy setting here at the Gold Arena adjacent to Fred Rust Arena here for today's contest. Glad to have everybody aboard, and we're underway for today's game. Colorado State wins the draw and an immediate coming back over with it and flipping it into the offensive zone where the Rams. This one goes right past Larada's office. Trying to chase it back out here are the Wildcats, and here they come in droves, and they might have a numbers advantage the other way. It's quickly taken back here. Trying to chase after this, the 71 of Charlie Davis. Had a couple of points in yesterday's contest. Actually was kept off of the score sheet for the team leader in points for the Wildcats. Nova takes it in their own end. This is taken here by Davian Peretti, Arlington, Virginia native, former member of the Philadelphia Junior Flyers 18U AAA team. This will be sent down the length of the ice. Makai Mitchell, certainly a name if you're a junior hockey fan, played 65 games with the Regina Pats in the WHL. It comes down here to the ACHA level. Try to get it back over to Connor Petrangelo, the team leader in points for the Rams. This comes out the other way, and it's a foot race in the other direction as Villanova trying to get on the board for here first. Crunched hard into the boards with Jack Fidacaro. Shot from the point sent in by Tom Lynch. Try to get it back over to the 22 of Jonathan Naraki. Naraki, former member of the Connecticut Junior Rangers, not able to steer it out. Back at the blue line it comes. Petrangelo knocked into the near side boards. And both teams is trying to establish themselves in the offensive zone. Centering pass from Riley Hunt Bond, intercepted here by Villanova. This will be chipped away by the number 1 of Chamberlain Nocera. Like we said, 3-2 on the season, a GAA of 180 and a save percentage of 948. So he is certainly pretty big foe here for the Wildcats. You take a look at Lou Larada's stats. 275 GAA with an 89.7 save percentage. So I think it's safe to say we're going to see a pretty low-scoring game here between both of these programs as Gannon Austin will send this all the way down. Icing was waved off. And taken down was a Ram. That was, couldn't tell who that was, but it's a delayed penalty here as that one snookered just past the goal mouth there by Cole Frank. Delayed penalty. It'll be finally be touched up by Villanova. And it will be a tripping call going against the Wildcats, and we'll get to see that high-powered penalty kill go to work here. It's going to be Evan Noble who will go to the sin bin for a pair. And Colorado State's power play will get its first opportunity to operate their power play 25.4 on the season. And like we said at the top of the show, Villanova's penalty kill 96.4. These young men from Philadelphia certainly know how to kill these penalties. They've only given up 3 power play goals on the entire season so far. Here in only 15 games played. A couple of players get chased out of the zone. As Carrick Stevens will take the draw, and now we're in a little bit of a holding pattern as Stevens will go back into the dot. Will lose the draw, and it's immediately tried to clear it out there by Peretti. Kept back in by the Rams. And this will be chipped out the other direction here by Villanova. Chasing after this one will be Cole Makozak, the Minneapolis, Minnesota sophomore. Second season with the Rams, coming over from Armstrong Cooper High School. Sends it back over the other way to Carrick Stevens, the Los Gatos, California native. And a freshman at that. Has played exponentially well so far for the Rams this season. One of the top teams in the entire ACHA M1. At the point is Makai Mitchell. He couldn't quite get it over. Nearly off to the races there was the 22 in Naraki. So the Rams will start on their own end as Naraki was trying to get it back the other direction. Taken back here by Naraki. Will flip it over to Tom Lynch. And Lynch will send it down nearly the length of the ice. It's intercepted by Hunter Bond, and Hunter Bond will take it from his own end. Naraki closing in. Hunter Bond will immediately find Grasso. And Grasso will send it into the corner. 50 seconds to go in the penalty against Noble. Hunter Bond wasn't able to hold on to the skates. This will go the other direction once again, where Nocera will set things up for a second PP unit led by Ryan Andor. Plenty of mid to high level junior talent on this Colorado State roster. Plenty of kids from the NA3HL, the USPHL Premier, and the North American Hockey League. Good keeping at the point there from the 6 of Christian Collins, one of the 2 alternate captains, but it's cleared the other direction. And once again, sending it out will be the Wildcats. Shots 0-1 in favor of Villanova. They've got the only shot on net. That one came about 45 feet from outside of the zone as Petrangelo trying to set things back over. This is cleared the other direction, and time will expire in the penalty against Noble. No shots on that power play for Colorado State. And they're still looking for their first test of Lou Larada directly. Trying to grab that there is Luke Carfey, playing as the extra skater for the Nova. The Rams try to take it back the other direction. This goes off of the end wall, and Larada will say enough of this nonsense and will cover up here. 15-14 to go in period number 1. Just about 5 minutes gone in the opening frame. And in case you're just tuning in, you haven't missed anything. It will be another face-off in the offensive zone for Colorado State, which they'll lose. They've lost all 3 face-offs in the offensive zone so far, including that one on the power play. Davis looking to saucer it over to the aid of O'Brien. And this will be chipped back the other direction by the Rams. Bouncing puck went underneath the skate of a Wildcat. That was Stan Wheeler, who scored his first career goal in a Villanova uniform yesterday against John Carroll in that 6-0 drubbing. Here's a shot in the low slot for the Rams, but not able to get anything there was Grasso. Hit into the Zamboni doors over on the far side. 14:37 to go in period number 1. Here's a chance for Doan looking for the snipe. That was partially blocked in front. So the Nova skaters doing a pretty good job of getting bodies in front as Grasso has got it at the top of the zone. Waiting for an option. Back to the point there to the 7 of Cromwell. Doan has it at the corner once again, sends it into the opposite corner. Doan with it, want it once some more. Trying to find the 21 of Shuckman. Shuckman will turn it over. Davis will send it up into the rafters and out of play with 14:06 to go in period number 1. If you've been injured on the job or in a car accident, you know how challenging and overwhelming the recovery process can be. That's why having a trusted and caring representative by your side is essential to help you navigate the complex world of workers' compensation and personal injury. The Law Office of Heather A. Long will guide you through every step of the process, from filing your claim to representing you in hearings and appeals. Call the Law Office of Heather A. Long at 302-466-LONG to schedule a free consultation. That's 302-466-LONG. Villanova still with it in the defensive zone. They haven't been able to get anything really on net here, as Makozak not able to get as far as the red line, taken back here by Andor. Chasing after this one will be the Wildcats, who were the designated road team in yesterday's 6-0 win over John Carroll. Reagan able to just barely clear it out, but it's sent back in the other direction there by the 8 of Mitchell. Turnover. Here's a chance for Makozak in about mid-range. And I don't believe that reached net. No, it did. So Larada will be 1 for 1 with his first official test of the afternoon. Makozak trying to drive in his own end. And he will backhand it. Nearly went out of play, but will remain in play. Makozak will come off, and Feinberg will put one on target. Larada will make the stop, and he'll hold on. So we saw a similar little bit of a start here in yesterday's game between John Carroll and Villanova, where both teams were spending the majority of the first period feeling each other out. Shots were only 6-5 after 20. But for here, it looks to be similar story, second verse for Villanova, and that's exactly what they love to be, just playing into their wheelhouses, going into the first intermission scoreless, and then just trying to pile it on in the second period, taking advantage of that long defensive change. They scored 4 of the 6 goals in the middle period. Delayed offside. It's tagging up will be the Wildcats. Trying to chase after this one will be the Wildcats, as Doan will throw the body in the corner. Running over Grant McCormick right in front of us here in our broadcast pavilion. Back on the other side. Shot didn't reach the net. Back in close. And Larado is able to make a quick pad save. Doan trying to chase after this, but will come back the other way. And chasing after this one will be Blake Neal, transferred from Montana State after last year. Didn't play in yesterday's contest. He's able to get it up to Stevens. Stevens and Grasso both trying to take it in the corner, but it's wheeled out of here by the Wildcats. And here comes the 7 of Anderson down the near side, streaking down the right-hand side. Not able to get it there. Anderson trying to give chase on the delayed offside. Comes back over to player there on the other side. The Collins not able to keep it in at the point. Backhanding this back on the opposite end will be Evan Noble out of the penalty box after serving the only penalty of the game so far, and down the near side come the Wildcats with it. Nocera will steer it away from his net. Nearly a foot race on the other direction. Rams have got it. And a quick waffle board save there by Larada. Rebound chance coming back over to the high slot. Larada trying to cover it, and he will. And now the Rams will be firing some shots on net. 6 straight shots on the Larada. And he is being. Back to Cromwell at the point, but it's intercepted, and now numbers the other way for the Wildcats. Here's a chance for Noble, trying to send it back over across. Not able to get anything there except a shot where the Wildcats, as Nocera comes up big. And that counterattack and odd man rush has really been a strong suit for New Villanova so far this weekend. It's trying to chase after this is Davis. He goes down in a heap, and he'll draw a penalty. So Villanova will get their first crack at the man advantage of the afternoon. To the bench goes Larada, and now here's a chance on the other way, right in close there for Peretti, not able to get anything there. Still with it are the Wildcats, and finally touching up on it will be Hernberger. It's going to be a cross-checking minor, says the on-ice official. We'll see who will be the offending Ram. I believe it's going to be the 7 of Cameron Cromwell, and it will be Cromwell who will go to the box. Cromwell, one of the alternate captains, coming over from the Granite City Lumberjacks of the NA3HL. It'll set up shop for Villanova's first power play opportunity of the afternoon. 38% on the PP so far this season. On the PK for Colorado State, 84.1, including a 5-on-3 yesterday. They surrendered the game-winning goal with 15 seconds left in regulation. Chipping shot from the far point there from James Reagan. A little bit too much loft on that play. Reagan will backhand it in, trying to play it in loose, and Nocera was just able to get enough of a piece of it. Peretti back over on the other side. A blister of a shot from Reagan. Stays out of the net. Reagan with it once again. Back over to Peretti. Does a great job for a brief moment of keeping it out. And now the 227's trying to fight after it. Peretti will go down, as Connor Petrangelo may have got a glove on him, and now Petrangelo on the other direction sends one off of the half wall. And the net will come off, and we'll get a pause past the midway point in period number 1. Has been a good one so far. So it'll be a defensive zone draw for the Wildcats. 9:56 to go in the first. Second killing unit will be out there, but Collins not able to win the draw, and it comes back over to Tom Lynch. Lynch will set things up in his own end. Puts it right on the tape of Noble, and he'll go eastbound and down. Noble will dump it in. Coming back over with it is Josh Rodro. Rodro not able to clear it along with Hunter Bond. Now a potential 3-on-2. Trying to set things up for the Wildcats, but now potentially a 2-on-1. It's a little too far out of the reach there for Collins. Fidecaro will send this one just into the half wall. 40 seconds to go in the penalty. And Fidecaro trying to get it back to the point there. Naraki back to Fidecaro. Try to get it back over to Lynch. Ball it for a moment. Gets it back over. Nice one-touch passes, but an even better save at a Chamberlain Nocera. Evan Noble with a chance about 20 feet away from the cage, and Nocera will say no, sir. First game back for Chamberlain Nocera in 2 months after suffering an upper body injury earlier on in the season, but the Evrata Colorado sophomore looking to pick up things where Ethan Blackburn left off in yesterday's game. Blackburn, fortunately, not able to pull the win out of him yesterday in that 3-2 loss, and Colorado State just trying to get back in the saddle here. It's a foot race the other way. 10 seconds to go in the power play for the Wildcats. Nova will reset from their own end. Here's Charlie Davis coming down the near side. Davis spins across, trying to take a shot just off of the end wall. Rebound nearly collected on the other way. That was Gannon Austin who was crashing in. Cromwell's out of the box, and we're back to 5-on-5, so 2 successful kills here in period number 1. Scrum for the loose change, and it just came in the low slot, but nobody in white was able to bat it home. Now the Wildcats have got 4 straight shots on net, so it's a little bit of back and forth play here. A potential 2-on-1 for the Rams if they hurry, trying to send one through the slot. Was Colorado State, but they're not able to get it. Stevens has got it, trying to send one home. And the net comes off once again, and that's been a little bit of a point of contention for both arenas here at Delaware, where the nets have a pretty big tendency to come off of their moorings. Much to the chagrin of the forechecking forwards that love to crash in. It's really always been that way, both at Fred Rest Arena here and here at the Gold Arena. Fritzson nearly knocking a player off, as this will go up and into the netting and out of play. And we'll get a face-off right in front of us. So a face-off right at the center ice dot. Still a scoreless game. Feinberg trying to win the draw, and it comes back over to the Wildcats. Nearly taking it there was Lynch. Sending it back home the other way was Fritzson. And Villanova resets from their own side once more. Player got knocked down, and we're going to get another penalty going against Villanova. Mac Feinberg draws a holding call. So each team got a crack at the man advantage, and Colorado State will get its second crack of the afternoon. Tyler Cooper, with his first pair of penalty minutes on the season for the junior, will go to the penalty box for a hold with 7:37 to go in the first period. Colorado State looking to take off here. The back end of period number 1. They're not able to win the offensive zone draw cleanly. But Collins trying to get things back over to Stevens. And this will pop back out the other way. Villanova 1 for 1 already on the man disadvantage. Petrangelo will keep from his own end. We'll get it back over to Collins. Collins trying to get it back over to Andor. It's nearly intercepted there and poked out the other direction by the 7 of Anderson. Nocera has got it, gets it back onto the tape of Andor, and Andor will remain on here with 1:22 to go in the penalty against Cooper. Kept in the offensive zone here, and here's a chance short-handed, back on the other way. It's loose in the low slump, and nobody was able to bat it home. Dylan Anderson with a great heads-up play, but wasn't able to get rewarded with it with a goal. And Villanova running a pretty aggressive forecheck here on this 5-on-4. Collins will now get it up to Stevens. Stevens cuts back into the inside, trying to go back on the outside. Lost the puck for a moment. Back on the other way come the Wildcats. And here's a little bit of chance for Jonathan Naraki. Naraki trying to go short side on short-handed, but ran right into Hunter Bond. He got hit into the end wall. Stevens has got it down the near side once again with 30 to go in the penalty against Villanova. Stevens trying to get it back over. Fumbling it against Naraki. Stevens back in the battle, but it pops back out into the defensive zone, and the Rams will start from their own side once again with now 22 seconds to go in the power play. Second unit on. Makozak trying to get it back over on the other way to Collins. Collins just gets it as far as the opposing blue line, but was slung the other way. Nearly had Charlie Davis on a breakaway chance short-handed. But what's looked a lot like a power kill here for the Wildcats has resulted in no shots on net for CSU in that power play. And Villanova right back in the dance here with 5:27 to go in period number 1. Nearly a chance there on the other way for Frank. Villanova's got it. Cutting back through once again is O'Brien. Nearly puts one on, and that's saved there by Nocera. Another shot goes wide. O'Brien just gets enough of a stick on it to keep it in the zone. Bouncing puck right at the doorstep, trying to go backhander on the other way. And now Charlie Davis is going to draw a penalty. It's going to be a cross-check going against the Rams. And wow, neither officiating group letting either team play a little bit here. It's going to be a cross-check going against, I believe, Cole Frank. And Villanova, after getting a power kill, will go on the power play here. And a great opportunity for the Wildcats to strike here on the man advantage. Noble off of the draw. Not able to win it. It's cleared the other way by TJ Norris. So will be Frank who will go to the sin bin for a cross check with under 5 to go in the first period. And here come the Wildcats on the other direction. This is Lynch. Had a goal yesterday. Gets it back on the tape of Fidecaro. Fidecaro slinging it back over on the other way. Bouncing puck in and out of the glove of Nocera, but it'll remain out and the Rams clear. Fidecaro will come back all the way down where we'll find Naraki, and Naraki trying to keep it away from a pressing Ram. Gets it back to Fidecaro. 4:20 to go in the first frame. Still a 0-0 contest here. About 16 minutes gone. Trying to change that there was Noble, sent it over the crossbar. Noble on it in the far corner once again, waiting for a reinforcement, and he's got it. Lynch at the near side corner point. Sends it into the near side corner itself. Puck runs into a little bit of traffic. Fidecaro trying to drive after that. Also in the corner there, Ty Doan, the captain. Both captains wearing 4 here for either side. This will pitter-patter down the other direction, and chasing after this one will be Davian Peretti. Peretti with Anderson right at his 11 o'clock. Will sling it back over to James Reagan. Here's Reagan down the near side on it once again. And it's cleared out the other way, this time by Makai Mitchell. And it's found here by Peretti, who's in his own zone. So both penalty killing units have been exceptional so far in this game. Davis trying to change that down the near side. Trying to send it back to the low slot, but it was jammed over. Peretti has got it at the point once more. Keeping it back across is Reagan. Over to Davis. Davis waiting for an option. Back to Reagan. Reagan at the point. Back to Peretti. Back over. Here's a chance on the other way. Just cranking it wide there was Charlie Davis. And we're back to 5-on-5 as Frank is out of the box. But Villanova still pressing in the offensive zone. And just as we say that, Nocera will say enough of that, and we'll get a pause here. Make a truly all-American meal the centerpiece of your next team event or special occasion. Sid's Barbecue and Jerky in nearby Claymont, Delaware can cater your next group event, offering pulled pork, brisket, and barbecue chicken on a daily basis, along with a variety of sauces and sides to sure to please any appetite. Visit Sid's at Suite C26 in the Tri-State Industrial Center on Ridge Road in Claymont. Open Monday through Saturday. Or to place a catering order, call 302-439-4937 or visit sidsbbqandjerky.com. 2:35 to go in period number 1. Neither team has been able to find the back of the 4x6 and sending this one wide were the Rams. Trying to clear it out are the Wildcats. And Stevens will lay the body, and this gets caught up in to one of the microphones, one of the speakers up in the rafters, and that will be there for the next 50 years. I'm pretty sure that was Ty Doan with just trying to clear it into the opposite corner and got up into the very low ceiling. It's a little bit of like playing in a coffin here at Gold Arena. Stevens over at the right wing. Pinned into the boards by Austin. Taken back the other way by Fidacaro. Partial 2-on-1, but it's quickly cleared out of there by Doan with under 2 minutes to go in the first period. Good stick in the lane there from the 14 of Aiden Vonfeld. Haven't said a whole lot of him today. Even numbers the other direction for Villanova. They might have a 3-on-2. Here's a shot right into the breadbasket of Nocera. And both goaltenders about 10 saves on the afternoon, 9 saves so far for Chamberlain Nocera, 8 on the day for Lou Larada so far. Again, this is one of 3 games being played here this afternoon between 6 different teams. And the first ever First State Showcase here at the Fred Rust Arena, as well as the Gold Arena here on the campus of the University of Delaware, here in Newark, Delaware. Glad to have everybody aboard. My name is Trey Wright for the Delaware Hockey Network, and Delaware will take on John Carroll later on tonight. But first, we've got 2 more games to get on. Of course, James Witherite on the call for the game, and the other rink right now over at Fred Rust between Grand Canyon and Stony Brook. 2 teams winning in dramatic fashion yesterday evening. Bouncing puck comes down the end wall with 67 seconds remaining in the frame. We'll get a scoring update here in a couple of moments. Final minute of play. Nocera will make the pad save. Rebound comes right back over. Nearly potting it home was Anderson. Nova not able to keep it in the zone. Comes back over to Andor. Andor comes back over to the center. Got railroaded there by James Reagan. Flipping it over just under the ceiling, and a nifty play there was Dylan Anderson past the red line. Mitchell down the near side, down the left wing, banks it off of the stanchion, right back over to himself, gets it over to Petrangelo with 26 to go. And this one will be slightly offsides. .25 seconds remain in the period. This pops back on the other direction. And the Wildcats have got it from their own side once again with 17 to go in the period. Looking for one last gas is O'Brien. O'Brien throws a ram right into the corner boards. The two weights colliding in emphatic fashion. With 6 seconds to go, Brendan O'Brien absolutely dumping Micaiah Mitchell, and the former Regina Pat went headfirst into the dasher, and that is how we'll end things here for the first. Well, certainly an emphatic way to end the opening 20 minutes of play. 10-8, the shot ratio in favor of Villanova, but we're in store for a little bit of a doozy here in Gold Arena. The score still remaining scoreless here after 20 minutes of play. You're watching today's action of Villanova versus Colorado State on the Delaware Hockey Network. Stay tuned as we go into the first intermission.
Whether you're a competitive athlete or a weekend warrior, a sports medicine physician is an important player on your health team. With over 10 years of treating high school, collegiate, professional, and everyday athletes, Dr. Brad Bly of Delaware Sports Medicine is the specialist you need to achieve personal bests and lead a healthier lifestyle. With clinics in Wilmington and Townsend, Delaware Sports Medicine is here for every athlete in your family. Visit desportsmed.com today to learn more.
Broadcast to social, print to digital, coast to coast, remote or on site. 412 Communications has the solution to bridge your team with your audience. Want to know more? Visit 412communications.com today. Recovery from an injury on the job or in a car accident can be overwhelming. The expert team at the law office of Heather A. Long can carefully explain your options and advocate for you through the process of claims, proceedings, and settlements. To schedule your free consultation today, call the law office of Heather A. Long at 302-466-5664 or visit injuryde.com.
It's time for the second period. Let's head back upstairs to James Witherite.
Back here after the opening intermission, and we remain right where we started from. Deadlocked at 0-0 apiece between the Colorado State University Rams and the Villanova University Wildcats. Here on today's production on the Delaware Hockey Network. Trey Wright on the call. We're deadlocked at 0-0 at the end of one, like we said. And we'll give you a little bit of a scoring update here with the Stony Brook Seawolves currently up 2-0 over the JCU Blue Streaks over on Fred Rust Arena. Of course, both games occurring at the same time here as they're about to get their second intermission underway, as is us here inside the glass of the Gold Ice Arena. Got 3 games on tap here on the Delaware Hockey Network, like we said. Game number 3 of the day, I should say, coming at you 8 o'clock tonight over on Fred Rust Arena between Delaware and JCU. So it's the scoring update for the earlier game, my apologies, is Grand Canyon is down 2-0 against Stony Brook. So John Kira will be taking on Delaware at 8 o'clock tonight. And we'll get into the matchups for tomorrow on the other side of this period. But that, of course, is then. This is now. 20 down, 40 to go. And Villanova, both teams will be on the long change. And this is where something that has really benefited Villanova all season long. It certainly benefited them yesterday in that 6-0 win against JCU. They got 4 of their goals in the middle period and really just set the tone right from the puck drop and the word go in that second period. We'll see if this will be a little bit similar a fate here against Colorado State. We'll see what the Rams are able to do here. But before we get underway, big thank you to everybody tuning in to today's coverage of the First State Showcase all weekend long. Had 3 fantastic games yesterday. We're going to have 3 fantastic games today and 3 fantastic games tomorrow. A big thank you to all of our broadcasters for this weekend, as Villanova will send this one the other way. This will go out of play, of course, James Witherite getting the brunt of the load here all weekend long, but Joe Sindoni, Jordan Hirsch, and myself, Trey Wright, the other broadcasters all weekend long. It certainly takes a family. Mark McCuller, our broadcaster for all 3 games this weekend here on Gold Arena. Of course, all our videographers all weekend long. It certainly takes a village to put these showcases together, and of course, a big thank you to all the teams for participating. Icing will be called here as Colorado State not able to get things going in the offensive end. And this will set things up for a rare draw in the offensive zone for Villanova. Charlie Davis off for the draw, and he will not win it, opposite of a Ram. As Grasso trying to get it up to Stevens, and Stevens with a shot, not enough on it, went wide of the net. It'll find Von Felt trying to put one on the other way. Stevens in the low slot, nobody was there, and Von Felt will backhand it, intercepted there by Stevens. Stevens back to the point. Here's for Mitchell. Mitchell over to Von Felt. Von Felt trying to spin away from Davis. Davis stick right in the midsection of Von Felt, and Larada coming way out of his cage to grab it. And he will freeze play, and a couple of players will collide. It was Stevens and a Wildcat. I couldn't tell which cat it was all the way on the other side. It was a 7 of Dylan Anderson. Nothing but penalties on the score sheet. 4 penalties in that frame, 2 for either side in the first. And a draw in the offensive zone for the second lines. Collins will win it. Immediately trying to get it on the other way for Neal. Neal at the point. He's cutting back beside him there was a 27 of Peretti. This will find Tom Lynch in his own end, trying to play it back up here for Naraki, and Naraki with a tape-to-tape pass over to Fidacaro. Fidacaro trying to go in for a centering pass, but it comes back over to the Rams. Sending it back in on a delayed offside was the 10 of Cooper. And Colorado State will reset from their own side with Ty Doan. Leading the charge, the captain resets from his own end, puts it right on the tape of Collins. Collins will get it up the other way. Another really great move there out of Pietrangelo, but is not able to get the secondary move. Doan's not able to keep it in at the point. It's a foot race the other way. Naraki able to steer around. Doan not able to put it in the net. A great effort there on 190 feet for Naraki, but couldn't come up with the last 10. And it causes Colorado State to reset from their own side, and Hunter Bond nearly had a breakaway chance steering around the defense, but it just rolled off of his tape enough for Lorado to make the grab. Colorado State in green, Villanova in white. Still deadlocked, 17:56 to go in period number 2. Colorado State wins the draw. Coming back over with it is Frank over at the half wall. Frank waiting for an option, trying to get it back over to Pietrangelo. Rather, that was the 22 of Hernberger. And the Cats will try and clear it out. Now some space on the other direction for Anderson. Anderson trying to keep it away from Frank. And GSU will sling it back the other way, chasing after this one the 15 of Luke Carfey, the extra skater. As that 7th defenseman coming in, intercepted there by Cromwell, who took one of the 2 penalties in that first period for Colorado State. Taken back here by Frank, and it's quickly re-intercepted there by the 13 of Lepore. So Villanova starting to get in a little bit of their wheelhouse here as Wheeler will get it back over to Austin. Trying to get it through traffic is Lepore. Holds up behind the point, trying to get it back over in the low slot intended for Noble. But the Rams will steer it out the other way with Frank. Frank trying a 1-on-3 and not able to get around anybody. Nearly takes a tumble behind the play. And a couple of Wildcats run into one another. That was Peretti and the 13 of Lepore that with a little bit of friendly fire. This goes all the way down. Icing is going to be called. That looked like Mike McDevitt had a little bit of a half step on Cromwell. Rather, Angus Fritzen on the other side. But I guess from our vantage point, Fritzen just a little out front of McDevitt. Mitchell backhands one just wide of the cage, comes back over to Reagan. On the other side with it are the Wildcats, and now a 2-on-2. Knocked off there was Grant McCormick. McCormick trying to chase after this one as well, but Hunter Bond, rather that's Pietrangelo, nearly lost it. McCormick trying to find a trailer in the low slot. It's wheeled out of here by Norris. Norris, bouncing puck on target of Lorada, and it's steered out of there by Peretti. A bit of a bouncer. But Lorado was able to make the stop. Comes way out. It just goes over the crossbar. Wow. What a chance for Schuckman, but a little bit too much pitch on that wedge. And Villanova resets once again. Fluttering puck goes right into the glove of Nocera, and he will make a solid play there with 15:33 to go in period number 2. Still scoreless as we approach the midway point in the game. For Villanova, you look at their last 10 games, they're 9-0-1, have gotten points in all of their last 10 games. And a 10-game point streak, a 9-game winning streak at that. Of course, still sitting at 6 in the ECHA after a little bit of a less than desirable start to the season for the Wildcats. Off of the post from a shot from long range. I think that was Ty Doan that put one off of the post. And Doan is going to lay the body in the corner. Lorado with the stop. It just trickles wide. So now the Rams beginning to buzz a little bit. And just as we say that, a Ram takes a Wildcat down, and we're going to get a penalty going against Colorado State. So it's Peretti who drew the penalty. It's going to be a tripping call, rather a cross-checking call against Colorado State. So the third power play opportunity for Nova of the day. They're 0 for 2 in the game so far with only a handful of shots. And it's going to be Robert Grasso who will go to the penalty box, and that is a big, big loss defensively on this penalty kill. So Grasso will go to the box for a pair, and we'll see if 3 is indeed the magic number for the Wildcats. And they win the draw a little too much there. This goes wide. Lorado will keep it up. They'll reset it to Naraki, and Naraki will put it on the tape of a teammate, and going back the other way with it will be Lynch. Lynch holds up, cross slot feed across, Naraki at the bumper. Back over with his Peretti. Make that fit Akaro, was trying to get it back over to Naraki at the point, it just goes a little bit outwards. So Lorado will reset things for Lynch. Noble will come on and he'll take the puck away from his captain. Near side here for Naraki, he will scream down the left wing. Naraki backhands one along in the opposite boards. Finds it back at the point. Back over to Naraki, takes a short side chance and just goes wide. I think Nocera was able to get a little bit of a piece on that. Comes back over to Naraki, now playing on the strong side. Naraki plays it back over, looking for a short side chance. On the other way was Dylan Anderson, but he's not able to get it. So 109 down in the penalty. Colorado State looking for their third straight kill in the game to remain in this contest here with under 14 to go. And we're going to get an immediate whistle off of the draw for a hand pass going against Villanova. So this will come back out to the neutral zone. Modern media is everyone shouting for attention and no one hearing a thing. So how do you get your voice above the fray? 412 Communications has MyRad solutions to build bridges between your brand and its clientele. Broadcast to social, print to digital, the 412 team will put their 40-plus years of experience to work for you. East Coast, West Coast, and everywhere in between. Let's talk about how to get you noticed. Visit us at 412communications.com today. 30 to go in the penalty against Grasso, and Villanova trying to come across. It looked a little bit offside from our vantage point, but the lines people will say it's onside. Chance on the other way. Great diving block there made by Feinberg to disrupt what would have been a potential grade A chance for Peretti. 12 to go in the penalty. Villanova still looking for another shot on this man advantage, the third of the afternoon. Good keep in the point. Looking for a bouncing puck on a redirect there was O'Brien, not able to get anything there. Out of the box is Grasso looking for a bouncer, and it just went off of the pads of Nocera. Puck through traffic, rebound came over to Davis, and he was just not able to squeak it through the pads. Chamberlain, Nocera coming up big here over these last couple of moments. 4 shots in quick succession for the Wildcats. And they have come just tantalizingly close to breaking open this game. Still no score as we approach the midway point in the second period. Cooper will send it in, trying to get a trailer there in Ponticelli. This one just rolls off the tape of Polincelli. And Grasso fresh out of the box trying to take it away from Cooper. This one nearly on the set. Lorado will play it up here. And here's a bumbling chance. Not able to hold on to it there was Frithsen. Frithsen will turn it back over to Von Feld. And resetting on the other side will be Mitchell. Mitchell across to Von Feld. Von Feld playing it up to Frithsen again. And here's Frithsen with a little bit of space. Trying to dangle around the defense but couldn't get past Cooper. Colorado State now pressing. Frithsen with the vulcanized rubber. He just rolled it off of his tape once again. And finally able to get it out of there will be Villanova, but it's out. No icing called, as it looked like it deflected off of a Ram. Grasso has got it. He goes down the near side with it. Number 20 in green drops back to 28. That's Carrick Stevens. Stevens Nearly knocked off there by Fidecaro, looking for a loose change play. Not able to get anything there, and now Villanova with the counterattack. Fidecaro not able to hold on to this one, as cutting back on the other direction was Fritzen. Angus Fritzen has been all over the ice on this shift. He remains out there with the aid of Mitchell. Mitchell on this top pair, waiting for Makozak. Haven't seen a whole lot of Makozak in this period. Trying to send it back the other way here once again, where the Wildcats, and nearly having Naraki on his horse was Fidecaro, but a little too much mustard on the slap pass. Remains deadlocked to 0. Wheeler will bank it in on the backhand. Cromwell finishes his check on the other way, trying to get it out of the zone. Cromwell with a chasing Huard right behind him. Here's a chance in front once again, but no Sarah. Once again, this is no sir. Just about at the halfway point. And a draw in the offensive end for Villanova once again. Noble will take it, but it looks like he might be chased out here. Collins gets chased out of the dots, so Noble will take his shot against a winger. Won it for a moment, but it comes back the other direction here with Collins. Collins up to Hunter Bond. Hunter Bond with a shot, partially blocked there on the other way, and that goes right into the glove of Larada. A nice leg there in the lane from Davian Peretti prevented a solid chance for the 97 of Riley Hunt Bond. Slap pass from the point, goes wide. Rebound on the other side of the cage. Here's Neal at the point. Across to Doan. Doan with a chance, and Larada comes way out to make the stop. Wow. Pretty much just smashing A and diving out there if we're playing Chell. And a risky chance there for Lou Larada, but he's able to be rewarded for it with a stoppage. And if we were in the Great Garden State, about 15 miles to our north, we would be cueing the Bon Jovi in this one. We're officially halfway home through today's contest, and that one saved there once again by Larada. Both goaltenders have been exceptional. We said at the top of the show how this was going to be a goaltending matchup. With how low of GAAs both these netminders have, we wouldn't expect it to be deadlocked at 0-0 halfway through the game, but it's really been the name of the game here. Two excellent goaltenders and two staunch defenses so far. Only 30 shots combined, 16 for Nova and 14 for Colorado State. And we're still scoreless here at Gold Arena as Hunt Bond will take that away. Nearly had Feinberg off to the races. It'll find Bianco, turns it over. Here's a chance in front, and just behind the cage, rebound comes over. Back at the point, Mitchell's shot blocked, gets his own rebound, it goes over the bar. Back on the other way, and somehow it stayed out. I don't know if Nova skater was able to get a stick on there as it trickles all the way down. It will be an icing. So those tired Nova skaters will remain out there. And it has just been a series of salvo firing attacks from either side, but nobody has been able to land a hit. It's really just been a gigantic game of Battleship, and everybody is just missing. 15-16 the shot ratio on that last chance. And a win off the draw for the Wildcats. They might have numbers, but a really good back check there from Colorado State will thwart it. Von Feld at the near side sends it over to Claude Rains. Nobody in particular for Colorado State. And now potential 3-on-2. Here's an odd man rush for the Wildcats. All alone, taking a shot right into the breadbasket of Nocera. That was Michael Bianco, who leads the Wildcats in goals this season. 10 goals on the year, the only player with double-digit goals for Villanova. The Ridgefield, Connecticut freshman played for Hockey Club Rhode Island in the Eastern Hockey League. So the draw will come in the offensive zone, so it was actually not an icing. Naraki will keep it in. Shot just goes a little bit wide to the cage. Net remains on its moorings right now, and the Rams in the counterattack with Feinberg. Feinberg gets on his horse, down the left wing, just chickles it through the paint, but not in the back of the 4x6. Andor will keep it in. Nearly had a chance for Feinberg, but a little too bouncy of a puck. Comes back over, and with it is Kolma Kozak. Glad to see him back out here for his first shift of this second period. And that top defensive unit will reset here once again. Andor is on it, trying to push it past the defense, and will eventually get it over. Frank to Cromwell. Cromwell will dump it in. Rims it along the wall where it'll find the 4 of Lynch. Lynch nearly turned it over. Free puck found here by Cromwell. Cromwell right at the point on it once again. Slings it across. Waiting for a target. Partially blocked on the other way. Makozak was trying to get it back over to Cromwell. Delayed offside as tacking back up on it was Hernberger. And now nearly a nifty move there out of Norris. Not able to drive around the opposite 10. Norris with another chance on a short sider. And it's saved by Lorada that time. Norris not able to get it back to Cromwell. And now potential 3-on-2 the other way here for Nova. Dropping it back are the Wildcats. Trying to get a shot there was Naraki looking for a greasy goal. And it's kept back in at the point. Now taking it back the other direction are the Rams once again. Back and forth play has been the main thing on the menu all day long. And now a 2-on-1, nearly a 3-on-1. Lynch across. Here's a chance on the other way. They score! With 6 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the second period, Villanova breaks the ice. Dylan Anderson, his 5th of the season, on a one-time little slot pass there from Tom Lynch will put the Wildcats on the board. And we take a look at it on the other way, a partial 3-on-1. And there was nothing that Chamberlain Nocera could do as Lynch able to get the job done. And we'll get the particulars here in just a moment. And now looking to reset the game was Hunt Bond. And Lorada will quickly cover up his own rebound. Making 7 consecutive goals on the weekend for Villanova and the Wildcats. Playing with all the mojo right now, all for this weekend. So it's actually going to be Christian Laporte getting the primary assist on that. I could have swore it was Lynch that slung it across. But irregardlessly, it's a 1-0 lead for Villanova, and now Colorado State has some pressure on them. Petrangelo nearly threw the body in the corner. Going down to the ice was O'Brien as Petrangelo, the team leader in penalty minutes for Colorado State, nearly went to the sin bin for the 45th time this season. Trying to keep it in at the point was Rudrow. Coming back on the other way, and the Rams looking for the counterattack. It's loose in the blue paint. Somehow it stayed out. I couldn't tell who was it cleared. I believe that was Stan Wheeler. And now Wheeler's on his horse down the near side. He's in a 1-on-4, puts a shot on. Rebound covered up by Nocera. And he will hold on for the pause. So a game-leading save with the stick on one end. And in a 4-on-1 is able to test Nocera on the other side. What a weekend that Stan Wheeler is having himself. Got his first goal of his collegiate career yesterday for the Wilmington, Delaware freshman, so he definitely knows this area and this region of ice fairly well. Peretti's shot is blocked. And now numbers the other way, potentially. Grasso was trying to get it up to Von Felt, but a nice speedy Gonzalez play there from Noble. On that back check is able to break up any sort of chance. Fritzson will send it down, and the opposite three on the other team will take it away. Stevens had his stick knocked out of his hand, quickly got it back over to himself, and now he's looking for an option. Stevens still with it on the corner, flips it back to Fritzson at the point. Fritzson with a shot, rebound, nearly came back over. Lorada's been out of position a couple of different times, but Colorado State hasn't had any opportunity to really get anything going on those second and third opportunities. Stevens on it once again. Tap back where it'll eventually find Grasso. Grasso is trying to get it back to Mitchell. Instead, it will bank it back over. Intercepted by Nova once again, and Lynch rather make that the 7 of Anderson. Trying to take it out. This one dumped in off of the railroad tracks. And resetting will be Davian Peretti. Trying to get it back up for Lepore. Lepore at the point. Still with it here at the near side. Trying to get it back over. Sending one through traffic as a bouncing puck there sent in by Cooper. Cooper on it once again. Trying to find a friendly Villanova skater. Cooper trying to toe the blue line. This will be a delayed offside against Villanova as Frank lost his stick. Give a little bit of a whack there to Anderson after the fact, and now the Rams reset here with 3:55 to go. Cooper in his own end, trying to play it back over to Lynch. Nearly knocked off there by Andor. And Andor trying to chase after this one. Playing the body is the 77. That's going to be Mac Feinberg. Feinberg getting physical in the corner as well, and now it's poked out of there, and nearly another 2-on-1 if the Wildcats hurry. Making a potential 3-on-2. Naraki not able to get a handle of it, and now cherry picking on the other side. On the other way, they score! Connor Shuckman all the way at the blue line, cherry picked it, and it's a game-tying goal. We're tied at 1. We get another look at that, and this was sent all the way down. And a Hail Mary pass over to Shuckman, and he beats Lorada 7-hole for his third goal on the season. And the sophomore has brought things right back to where they started from. It is 1-1, and it's a brand new hockey game once again. So it's going to be Shuckman from Doane. And we're going to get a whistle here for a stop and a little bit of extracurriculars after the fact. But these two teams have been really competitive so far in this game, and whether you're a competitive athlete or a weekend warrior, a sports medicine physician is an important player to have on your health team. With years of experience treating high school, collegiate, professional, and everyday athletes, Dr. Brad Bly of Delaware Sports Medicine is the specialist you need to achieve personal best to lead to a healthier lifestyle. And with clinics in both Wilmington and Townsend, Delaware Sports Medicine is here for every athlete in your family. Visit desportsmed.com today to learn more. 2:43 left in the second period, and nearly getting the lead right back where the Wildcats, but no Serra once again with a stop. And that was a great, great chance for Evan Noble. And this game coming right down to the wire. We still have another period of hockey to go here. In the Gold Arena, we're tied at 1. And Hunt Bond trying to give Colorado State their first lead of the afternoon. Trying to drive around the defense was Rudrow. Rudrow nearly knocked off, and he gets into it a little bit physically, and now it's another 3-on-1 for the Wildcats. Loose puck on the other way. McCormack looking for an option. It's loose in the slot for about half a second, and now Collins nearly got angled off of it, but he'll keep going the other way. Petrangelo with a shot as he was getting dumped. Goes up into the rafters and out of play with 2:03 to go. Face-off comes to the right-hand side of Lorada, and it's won by Villanova, who desperately need that win. Have given up their first goal of the weekend, scored 7 consecutive goals and nearly gave up 2 consecutive there. Trying to get after this is Lepore, and dumping it in will be Noble along the half wall. Coming back over to collect it is Austin. Make that Anderson on the other way. Peretti trying to get it back over to Noble. Dumping it in is Fritzson. And 1:30 to go in period number 2. We got to batten down the hatches and tighten every bolt here for this third period, because it is going to be a doozy. 1 goal from Villanova and Colorado State apiece in this period. Good stick in the lane there from the 20 of Grasso. Is able to deflect anything away from Villanova, getting another odd man rush with 70 to go. Noble with a chance, partially denied. And now in transition comes Grasso with it down the east side. Final minute left in period number 1 is Noble and Stevens shoving each other over in the corner. This one off of the stick of Peretti, but is able to clear it down. Icing will be waved off as Feinberg will come off of this one. So able to get things going on the long change are the Wildcats. We're tied at 1 with 40 to go in period number 2. Feinberg trying to change that, even numbers the other way. Getting it back over. Naraki will intercept this one. Tape-to-tape pass right onto the stick of the 25 of Fidacaro. And this will find Peretti at the blue line once again. Fidacaro all alone, but he's partially tied up by Neal as those two exchange some pleasantries. 15 to go in period number 2. And looking for one final chance is Colorado State. Frank lays the body in the corner, and he pays the price for it. It's being pinned in there by both Peretti and Aram, and that will do it for period number 2 as the final buzzer will sound, and we're deadlocked at 1. So Dylan Anderson able to score to break the scoreless deadlock at 14 minutes into the period, but just a couple of moments later, a cherry-picking goal from Connor Schuckman ties things up. Here going into period number 3, 21-19, the shot ratio in favor of Villanova. But we're tied at 1 after 40 minutes of play here on the Delaware Hockey Network.
There's nothing all-American quite like a good old-fashioned barbecue. Sid's Barbecue and Jerky brings the most tender and flavorful pulled pork, brisket, and barbecue chicken to the tri-state area, and is sure to turn your next gathering into a truly all-American event. Visit Sid's on Ridge Road in Claymont, Delaware, or place your next catering order at sidsbbqandjerky.com.
Broadcast to social, print to digital, coast to coast, remote or on site. 412 Communications has the solution to bridge your team with your audience. Want to know more? Visit 412communications.com today. Recovery from an injury on the job or in a car accident can be overwhelming. The expert team at the law office of Heather A. Long can carefully explain your options and advocate for you through the process of claims, proceedings, and settlements. To schedule your free consultation today, call the law office of Heather A. Long at 302-466-5664 or visit injuryde.com.
It's time for the third period. Let's head back upstairs to James Witherite.
40 down, 20 to go as we welcome you back inside the glass of the Gold Ice Arena in Newark, Delaware for the start of the third period between the Colorado State University Rams and the Villanova University Wildcats here on the Delaware Hockey Network. My name is Trey Wright, and we're deadlocked at 1 goal apiece after 2 periods of play. With Villanova getting on the board with 6 minutes remaining in that second period, with Dylan Anderson getting his 5th goal of the season. But only 3 minutes later, Connor Schuckman cherry-picking from the blue line tied things up, and we go into a do-or-die third period of play. Colorado State looking to get their first win on the weekend, and Villanova looking to keep their win streak going. The Wildcats currently on 8-game winning streak, but as we take a look at some of the scores around the rest of the weekend, right now the Grand Canyon University Antelopes up 4-3 over the Seawolves of Stony Brook University. That's in the second intermission right now. Later on tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, it'll be the Fightin' Hens, the Fightin' Blue Hens of the University of Delaware taking on the Blue Streaks of John Carroll University. James Witherite will be on the call of that. And later on tomorrow, taking a look at tomorrow's slate of games, starting off at 10 o'clock in the morning right here in Gold Arena. Grand Canyon will be taking on John Carroll. And then here at 1 o'clock p.m., Stony Brook will be taking on Villanova. And a really good battle of a couple of really good teams. And finally, the heavyweight matchup of the weekend. The Blue Hens taking on the Rams over in Fred Rust Arena. But that, of course, is then. This is now 40 down, 20 to go. We're deadlocked at 1. Here we go. We're off and running for the final 20. It's immediately sent down there by Robert Grasso. And right now, Colorado State with a lot of momentum on their side as it goes a little bit wide of Lou Larada's office. Larada right now 18 for 19, 20 for 21 is Chamberlain Nocera. And it is going to be interesting to see who is going to get this next goal in the game. Whoever gets this next goal in the game is going to have a really good chance of winning this contest here. And both teams have about as equal of a chance as to do so. This is essentially a match race between two really, really strong opponents here in this final 20 minutes of play. Bianco's outletting pass is intercepted and goes right back into the skates of Tyler Cooper, wearing 10 for Villanova, and we're going to get a power play for Villanova on a tripping call against Grand Canyon. So the turkey's gone on the table here as Lorada's to the bench and looking for something on a delayed penalty there where Villanova, but they're not able to get anything. As Ty Doan will touch up here, it'll be a tripping call going against the 97 of Riley Hunt Bond. And Villanova will get their fourth power play opportunity of the day. Grand Canyon 0 for 3. Or rather, Grand Canyon 3 for 3, I should say. And irregardlessly, Villanova with a chance here to try and get their lead right back. Good bank there, but not able to keep it in the zone. There was the 4 of Lynch. Collins trying to keep it away at the near side from Fidecaro, and it's a foot race the other way. Getting on his horse is Petrangelo. Petrangelo and Naraki will meet at the far corner, and Naraki trying to get out of his own end. He's got a little bit of help there from Noble as Petrangelo and Naraki are on top of one another like a couple of June bugs on a summer night. Fidecaro at the near side. Gets put into a spin cycle from Doan, and clearing it out will be the Rams, and it's another foot race on the other direction. Lorada, staring with like a deer in the headlights, will get it back over and play it up to Lepore. Lepore nearly turning it over to Makai Mitchell, but it finally comes back the other way with Lepore. Lepore with a couple of great moves, trying to drive around the defense, looking for the go-ahead, but saying no will be Nocera once again. Reagan at the blue line, quarterback in this power play. Davis spins around from Norris. Davis on it again. It just rolled off, and it's another foot race, which will be won by Reagan. James Reagan, the Blackwood, New Jersey native, leads the Wildcats in assists and penalty minutes on the season. Just trying to get something to go as it gets it back over to Davis. Davis has been kept off of the score sheet so far this weekend as he nearly collided there with Reagan. O'Brien back at the point with 25 seconds to go in the penalty against Hunt Bond. This pops back out to the neutral zone. Fighting after this one will be Peretti. He nearly caught a stick to the midsection, and now a chance for Davis looking to go on it, and it's saved once more by Nocera. And Davis getting into it with Josh Rudero as we'll take a look at that nifty play and nifty save. Yeah, and this was Charlie Davis all alone, and Nocera just having to cover up the 5-hole to make that save. It remains a 1-1 hockey game with 17:05 remaining in the period. Waffle boarded away there by Nocera. 5 seconds to go in the penalty against Hunt Bond. He is ready to spring out of the box, and he will do so. Fritzson gets taken down, and now Colorado State will go to the power play. So both teams trading power plays like they're a couple of brokers on the floor of Wall Street trading stocks. This time it's James Reagan who will go to the sin bin, and now Colorado State will get a chance to answer. So Reagan, with his 25th pair of penalty minutes on the season, will be off. That is a big loss for this Villanova penalty kill, who's been perfect so far today and this weekend and pretty much all season long. 2 for 2 today. Shot from the point, just trickling wide. Nobody in green was able to get it home. Hunt Bond not able to post it home. Keep it in the point. It's taken back here by Mitchell. Mitchell, the former WHL skater, gets it back over to Riley Hunt Bond, fresh out of the box. Plays it back up, a little too far out for Grosso. And Lynch is not able to get there, but it will pop back out to the neutral zone. Stevens, he gets mollywopped right into the glass as Jonathan Naraki, I should say, laying the body, and now Naraki shorthanded in a 1-on-2. Naraki not able to get around the defense. Mitchell doing a great job of defending the vulcanized rubber from Naraki, who will come back the other way and gets back into the penalty kill. Rather, he'll come off for a change. Grasso will send it in where Lynch will find it. The Villanova captain will clear it all the way down, goes behind Grasso, and this will be taken back here by Angus Frithson, who has been staunch in this defense so far, with power play number 2 coming up here for the Rams. 45 seconds to go in the tripping call, going against James Reagan. Colorado State, they don't have numbers on the other way, but they have numbers on the ice here with now 35 to go in the power play. Makozak waiting for an option, trying to play it back over to Rudrow. Pass is intercepted. It's taken back here by the Wildcats, but quickly taking it back here is Andor. Andor in a 2-on-2. Has Petrangelo right behind him. He will take a tumble. Lorado will cover up, and amazingly, no, we are going to get a penalty. It's a tripping minor, and a 5-on-3 smoked turkey on the table for the Rams. They'll get a 5-on-3 with 14 seconds remaining on that penalty. And we're going to get a timeout taken here by Alex Lakovsky. Alex Lakovsky, I should say. He and Justin Rudrow, the two coaches on the bench for Colorado State.
The Villanova penalty was set to number 6, Gannon Austin. 2 minutes for tripping. Time of the penalty.
So Gannon Austin will be the offending Wildcat going to the box, and ultimately that's just a tripping call you've got to take if you're Austin. Trust your power play to try to help you out instead of just giving a free grade A chance to Colorado State. But they have got a reverse situation of what befell them yesterday. They were down 5-3 in the waning seconds against Stony Brook. And ironically, with 14 seconds remaining in a 5-on-3, Stony Brook scored the game-winning goal and Colorado State fell in yesterday's game. They're looking for the hockey guys to try to repay the favor with 15:08 to go in period number 3. Well, as Villanova penalty kill is going to be put to the ultimate test here against one of the top power plays in the West with the Rams. And we'll see what Collins can do off the draw. He is opposite of Charlie Davis, and Davis immediately wins the draw. Cooper trying to get there in time to win this puck battle. Trying to hold it on with 11 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. Stevens has got it on the point with a Wildcat down. Stevens taking aim and right into the glove of Lorado. He read it perfectly. I couldn't tell who was down behind the play. I think that may have been Tom Lynch. But with pylons in front of him, Lorado is able to snooker the vulcanized rubber and is able to rob Carrick Stevens of the go-ahead goal to give Colorado State their first lead of the afternoon. That one goes into the corner. Final seconds will tick off. Reagan will come back to the bench, and it's now a 5-on-4. A howitzer from Mitchell just goes wide, and the rebound never came. Mitchell has got it now in his own defensive end, and now it's a 5-on-4. A little bit more breathing room here for Villanova. Looking to kill off their 5th penalty of the game, and Colorado State looking for a power play goal. Taken back here by Andor. He's got it at the blue line. Trying to play it back over. Nearly knocked into the boards there was Rudrow. Andor on it once again. This right in front of Lorado. Playing it back are the Rams. Petrangelo. Back to the opposite side. Mitchell will play it. Rake that Christian Collins, I should say, trying to play it back over to Mitchell. 1 minute even to go in the tripping call against Gannon Austin. Not able to clear it all the way out, but a nice puck battle there from Villanova. Just a little too far out for Charlie Davis to be on his horse to look for a shorty. Stevens is on it. Trying to get back here is Davis. He'll go back to the bench, and getting back on here will be Villanova. Still even at 1 goal apiece with 35 to play. A little too far out. No, Sarah's got to come out to play it away from a crashing Fidacaro. And now numbers the other way, but Hunt Bond not able to get anything on it. Collins not able to get a stick in there. This will clear the other direction. Bouncing puck down to Norcera. He'll make the easy stick save. 10 seconds to go. Make that 15 seconds to go, in the power play for Colorado State. Haven't been able to get anything grade A onto Lou Lorada just yet. And time looks like it'll be winding down on this power play. And it will. Out of the box, and we're back to 5-on-5. And a successful pair of kills, one of them being on a short but still very important 5-on-3, and Villanova remains in the contest. On ball, not able to get it back up to a friendly skater. McCormick in the corner. Trying to dig after it here are the Wildcats. Comes back out to the point, taken back here the other way by Lepore. Lepore has the only assist for Villanova in this game so far on the go-ahead goal to Dylan Anderson, back what seems like a million years ago in the second period. Makozak not able to get this, and a shot from Reagan at the point will go down. And it's gloved down by Fritzson once more. Plenty of action all around the sports realm tonight as the NFL playoffs are in full swing, with the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos tied at 10 points apiece. And later on tonight, we'll get the San Francisco 49ers against the Seattle Seahawks in an NFC West battle. Should be a great pair of games here with all the remaining games left here in gridiron football, and of course the NHL still in full swing as well. Icing is waved off, interestingly, by the Lions people, and trying to get back here in the play is Peretti. Hernberger not able to keep it in the offensive end, and here comes Reagan across the blue line. Reagan gets it back to Lepore. Free puck on the other way, comes back over to Lynch. And Lynch tried to get the tape pass, instead deflecting it past the red line will be Anderson. And a wholesale line change for the Cats. McCormick trying to play it back over, and in the opposite corner goes Mike McDevitt. Haven't seen a whole lot of McDevitt in this game. Could he be a shine to star with 11:24 to go in period number 3 in a tie-tie hockey game? Cooper goes into the end wall. Trying to get it back here on the other way is McCormick. Sending it all the way down past the red line was McDevitt. And this comes all the way back, and not able to get it behind the blue line, I should say, was Tom Lynch. With a listen-first approach that creates a unique solution for your circumstances, the expert team at the law office of Heather A. Long are committed to providing empathetic and compassionate legal representation for individuals who have suffered injuries. To schedule your free consultation today, call the law office of Heather A. Long at 302-466-LONG. That's 302-466-5664, or visit injuryde.com. Loose puck, not able to convert on it, were the Wildcats with a flurry of chances. Here's a shot. Bouncer comes right back into the breadbasket of Nocera. Tom Lynch for the Wildcats has been all over the offensive zone over these last few shifts he's been on the ice for. And he nearly had a chance from about 45 feet outside of the circles. It's beginning to look a lot like whoever's going to get this next goal is going to get this win here. And both teams trading grade B offensive chances on the other way. Not able to drive around the defense was Rudrow. Trying to get it through right on the goal line there, but no ram was home. Davis in transition. Trying to put it right on the tape of a teammate the other way. And this one will be gloved down by Nocera once more. This time it's gloved down by Luke Carfey. Faced off to the right of Nocera. One here by the Wildcats, and a short side chance just goes wide. That was another shot there from Fidacaro. But Fidacaro not able to get anything there. He gets hit hard into the corner boards, face first. And now the Rams in transition. They might have numbers the other way. Grasso trying to get it across to Stevens. Good back check there out of the Wildcats, though. I couldn't quite tell who that was down there. On that back check, I believe that may have been the 6 of Austin. And it was the 6 of Austin that tied up Grasso just enough so he couldn't play it over to a wide open Carrick Stevens. And both these defenses have earned their scholarships here today. Puck deflects up into the rafters and out of play with under halfway home through the third period. 9:41 to go. Nova and Colorado State tied at 1 goal apiece. Face-off comes 25 feet out in front of the Villanova zone. And winging it there will be Leo Pulcinelli. He gets hit hard into the boards. And we're going to get another penalty going against Villanova, I believe. And it will be against the Wildcats. It is a rough. James Reagan will go right back to the penalty box by the looks of it, and he will. Villanova's penalty kill, 5 for 5 so far today. They have definitely been getting their money's worth. Another chance for Colorado State, but they haven't been able to get a whole lot of chances on net. On to Lou Larada. Villanova leads the shots. 26 shots onto Chamberlain Nocera. Nocera, 25 for 26. Shot from the point goes right into the gear of Lou Larada. Larada on that save. 21 for 22. So another penalty kill without James Reagan is going to be another big test here for the Wildcats, but they were able to survive a 5-on-3 without him. Another bouncer right back down to Nocera. Mitchell will collect it. Mitchell, Hunt, Bond, Grasso, Carrick Stevens, and Collins, the 5 skaters out here for the Rams. Stevens, we'll see this one whiz past him. Nocera will reset things from his own end. Colorado State in their road green uniforms, and Villanova in their home whites. Hunt Bond will go down the near side. He'll dump it in. Pucks goes off of the dasher board. Will find a trailer on the other way in the form of Stevens. This comes all the way back down to the end boards once more. And trying to cherry pick a little bit there, the lone goal scorer for Nova, Anderson. Collins will come across. Plays it back over to Grasso. Grasso in a foot race with Peretti over at the right wing. Peretti will angle him into the half wall. Fight for the vulcanized rubber in the corner, and it whizzes out right over the glove of Makozak. Nocera with Lepore right in front of him. Makozak is able to just take it away and bail out his goaltender. But it's taken back here once again, and wheeling it out is Lepore. Christian Lepore will chase after this into the corner, will angle Andor into the corner. Petrangelo on the second unit, able to get as far as the red line, clearing it back down. A nice glove there from Fritzen, but he is going to be dogged with a hand pass, and this will come back out in the Colorado State end. With 7:40 to go in the third period, 17 seconds to go in the rough against Reagan. And both of these benches ready to spill out if they're able to get anything on either goaltender, if they're able to get the lead. But I know that both fan bases watching back home, for everybody in Philadelphia, for Villanova, and everybody an hour north of Denver, are rooting for these boys back home. Of course, the Colorado State faithful have a little bit more to worry about with the Denver Broncos playing the Buffalo Bills right now. This will be an ice against Colorado State. With 3 seconds to go in the power play, that'll essentially kill it for Villanova. They're 6th on the day. But I do know that both fan bases are about as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. As are we here in the Delaware Hockey Network press box. Big thank you to Mark McClure, our technical director for today. And of course, all our videographers across the entire weekend. And for James Witherite and the University of Delaware for being integral parts of putting this on. My name is Trey Wright for the Delaware Hockey Network. 7:05 to go in the third period. Tied at 1. Back to 5-on-5. Thrifson not able to get it past the 25 of Fittacaro. And Fittacaro trying to lay the body on the Thrifson on the other way. Fittacaro on the vulcanized rubber once more. Trying to play it back over. Gets it over to Wheeler, who's trying to wheel and deal. Instead, it's flipped out and off of the low ceiling. Again, Colorado State hasn't played in this barn yet this weekend. This will be the only game that the Rams play in this low ceiling coffin-like arena here in gold. Villanova playing all 3 of their games in gold this weekend as they are the designated road team for the weekend, with 2 teams from the Atlantic, 2 teams from the Great Lakes, and 2 teams from out west being part of the First State Showcase. Trying to get that there was Bianco. It just rolled off of his stick. Feinberg does enough to just chip it out the other way. Icing waved off. Cooper has got it in the other end, plays it up for Davis. Davis puts on the brake to keep it away from Petrangelo, but Petrangelo with the steal, not able to get the shot off. Back on the other way. A Ram goes diving, and are we going to get another tripping call? We are. So Villanova can't buy anything late in this game. And this time it's Tyler Cooper who will be the offender of a trip. We'll see if lucky number 7, power play opportunity, is the name of the game for Colorado State. I think they've only got maybe 7 or 8 shots on goal for Villanova against Villanova's penalty kill. And they've had 6 power play opportunities on the day. Hunt Bond off of the draw. It's a scrum for the loose puck, off of the faceoff, and it comes back to nobody in particular. Cooper in the box, and another power play for Colorado State. Grasso playing it back over to Mitchell. Mitchell bouncing puck. The net comes off of its moorings right as Hunt Bond was trying to snooker it through. It would have gone wide anyway, and continuation wouldn't come into play. Colorado State wins the draw. Stevens has got it at the point, plays it across to Mitchell. Mitchell surveying, puts one on target. It's just loose on the backside of the net. It went straight up into the air. Mitchell able to kick it back over to himself and keep it in. 1:25 to go on the power play. Colorado State's 7th of the day. And a Ram getting knocked over in the boards there. Will continue to play at 5-on-4. Hunt Bond sends one through, looking for a redirect for Grasso. It's loose in the high slot, and it comes back over, just trying to get it out of harm's way are the Cats, and they will. Mitchell with Anderson right at his 6 o'clock will dump it back over to Stevens, and Stevens will play it into the opposite corner. Wheeler trying to backhand this one, gets as far as the other way. Nobody was home and green in the slot, but Kozak will glove it back down to himself. 40 seconds to go on the penalty against Cooper, and looking to go 7 for 7 on the penalty kill. And now here's a potential chance, short-handed on the other way. It's just off of the post. Tom Lynch 2 inches to the right, and he would have had a go-ahead shorty. But instead, we're deadlocked at 1. And Lynch didn't miss that one by much. He beat Nocera but couldn't beat the pipe. And now Lynch with a little bit of a low block there onto Von Felt. Von Felt a little bit slow to get up with 10 seconds to go, and the Colorado faithful wanted a penalty. Petrangelo down the near side, streaking with it down the left wing. Final seconds will tick off. That one didn't miss by much. I think it just went off of the post as well. And we are back to 5-on-5. 7 for 7 on the penalty kill has been Villanova. And with 4:13 to go in period number 3, it's coming right down to the wire here on the Delaware Hockey Network. Quickly before we'll get things back going, we'll get you a score update on Grand Canyon versus Stony Brook right now going into the third period. If YouTube would like to not play 3 ads in a row, It is still 4-3 in favor of the Antelopes over the Seawolves with 10:19 to go in period number 3. Right now it's 1-1 between the 22nd best team in Acha M1 and a scrappy Villanova team that's looking to have an exceptional weekend. Keeping it onside on the other way is Villanova with a trailer on the other side. Huard unable to put anything through. Carfey trying to stick one back on the other way. Puck finds Feinberg, lost in his skates for a brief moment, trying to get back over to himself. He gets put into a spin cycle on the other direction, and now Norris lays a Villanova skater into the half wall. I believe that was the 10 of Cooper, who's fresh out of the box. And we're going to get a whistle here. Puck, I believe, went out of play. 3:24 to go in the third period, and we are smelling some overtime. Taking a look once again at the upcoming schedule. Of course, later on tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern. Make that 7 o'clock, actually. So the game got pushed up an hour. It'll be Delaware versus John Carroll. And tomorrow at 10 o'clock, it'll be John Carroll versus Grand Canyon, Villanova versus Stony Brook at 1 o'clock here at Gold, and Colorado State versus Delaware tomorrow at 4 p.m. All games broadcasted live on the Delaware Hockey Network on the 412 YouTube channel. Von Feld back on the ice after getting shaken up on that last shift. He looks no worse for wear. Banks it over to Carrick Stevens. Stevens will pitch with one back into the corner where Grasso will get it to negate the icing. Grasso and Stevens both trying to fight for the vulcanized rubber. Comes back over to Stevens. Stevens trying to find Fritzson at the point, but still not able to get anything there on the other side. Now Fritzson has got it, gets it back over to Stevens. Stevens pinned into the corner by Peretti. Finally, it comes loose. Referee's got to get out of the way, and laying the body on the other side was a Ram. Back on the other way, Lorado with a pad save. And in transition, here's a chance on the other way. Nearly a breakaway chance. Here's O'Brien with a shot. The Villanova faithful were calling for a hook or maybe a slash, but now it's a 2-on-2 on the other way. Hunt Bond trying to sling it back across, but not able to get it was Fritzson. Thrifson to Hunt Bond, and that's emphatically clear. No, it remains in. That one goes over the crossbar from a drive from Rudrow. Keeping it in at the blue line are the Rams. 1:50 to go in period number 3, and Colorado State were in the same situation 24 hours earlier. They're not hoping that history repeats itself. Lynch will send it down. Nocera will freeze the puck at least, plays it back for Rudrow, and now the Rams will reset. Just barely keeping it in were the Wildcats, and keeping it in once again. Here's Anderson with a drive, pad save, rebound cleared out. Not able to knock it out of the air was Cooper, comes to the neutral zone. Lynch will take it back to his own end. We'll take a collective breath from fresh air here for a brief moment, but time continuing to wind down. Now Grasso has got it across to Petrangelo with a drive. It's loose right behind. It's still loose. It's in! Lorado thought he had it. The net came off its moorings, and Colorado State has got the lead with 65 to go. Ryan Andor was the one to knock it home. We'll take a look at the replay. And Villanova arguing their case. Petrangelo shot it in a net initially. Andor knocked it home as he knocked the bar off. And like we said, the hockey gods giveth and the hockey gods taketh. And now with 65 to go, Villanova is in dire desperation of their 9-game winning streak coming to a pause. Lorado remains in his cage, and looking for the equalizer on the other way was Naraki. The net comes off right as Lorado was able to try and spring out like a wildcat. And Connor Schuckman with his second point on the day, and Villanova's going to take their timeout with 53 seconds to go in the third period. And Colorado State is just hoping and praying that they are able to hold on for the next 53 seconds. You go back to yesterday, a late go-ahead goal on a 5-on-3 from Stony Brook gave them the win. And Colorado State with a late go-ahead goal of their own. A little bit more than 15 seconds on the board. There's 53 on the board. And Villanova will have Lorada out. There's nothing that Lorada could really do there. Thought he had it saved on the initial chance for Petrangelo. Andor came it in and just knocked it home. Six skaters on for Villanova. Fidecaro, Peretti, Davis, and three others. Reagan is on, Bianco is on, and Dylan Anderson is on as well. 6 on 5, the net is empty as Villanova looking to keep this winning streak going against one of the top teams in ACHA. Linesperson gets tied up in the slot, and now 47 seconds to go. This goes all the way down. It's a little bit wide. Reagan chasing after this one, and icing will be called. And with 40 seconds left, the clock went down an extra second, so there should be 41 left. Irregardlessly, puck comes back over. Trying to put it back over, and a bank shot on the other way. This could have a chance for a goal-line goal. Back on target. It's just wide. It's icing once again. So the second time Villanova has been just nearly there by the skin of their teeth. Nova wins the draw once again. Davis will get it to Reagan at the point. Reagan shot through traffic, patted aside. 22 seconds to go in regulation. Colorado State looking for it again. It's a foot race on the other way. Icing waved off with 15 to go. Now Villanova with 200 feet to get a goal. They've got 100 feet. Trying to drive around on the other way was O'Brien. He's not going to get a penalty. 3 seconds to go, and that will do it. Colorado State, after a heartbreaker yesterday, will break Villanova's heart. And Colorado State University's Rams will outlast the Wildcats of Villanova. And what a game. Here in the dying seconds, Ryan Andor getting the game-winning goal. And Colorado State will get their first win on the weekend. They will advance to 13-6-4. While Villanova will fall down to only their third loss in regulation this season. They fall to 12-3-1. As both teams will take on opponents tomorrow. But we'll be back here in just a couple of moments for your 3 stars of the game and the conclusion of today's contest between Villanova and Colorado State, live here on the Delaware Hockey Network.
Recovery from an injury on the job or in a car accident can be overwhelming. The expert team at the law office of Heather A. Long can carefully explain your options and advocate for you through the process of claims, proceedings, and settlements.
I was going to go Shuckman first star, Andor second star,
Heather A. Long,
and Nocera third star.
5664 or visit
Andor with a game-winning goal, 23. Yeah, 23,
Whether you're a
21,
competitive
1.
athlete or a weekend warrior, a sports medicine physician is an important player on your health team.
Yeah, 21
With over 10
goal
years
and an
of treating
assist.
high school, collegiate, professional, and everyday athletes, Dr. Brad Bly of Delaware Sports Medicine is the specialist you need to achieve personal bests and lead a healthier lifestyle.
And then 1.
With clinics in Wilmington and Townsend,
Actually, what were
Delaware
the final
Sports Medicine
shots?
is here for every athlete in your family. Visit desportsmed.com today to learn more.
In favor of who,
Broadcast
Colorado
to social,
State?
print to digital, coast to coast,
Okay, so
remote
yeah,
or on site.
Nocera with
412 Communications
how
has
many
the
saves he
solution
had?
to bridge your team with
Yep.
your audience.
28 saves.
Want to know more? Visit 412communications.com today.
There's nothing all-American quite like a good old-fashioned barbecue. Sid's Barbecue and Jerky brings the most tender and flavorful pulled pork, brisket, and barbecue chicken to the tri-state area and is sure to turn your next gathering into a truly all-American event. Visit Sid's on Ridge Road in Claymont, Delaware, or place your next catering order at sidsbbqandjerky.com.
Recovery from an injury.
And we welcome you back to today's post-game coverage of Colorado State versus Villanova. 2-1 your final, with Colorado State winning the game with a goal from Ryan Andor with 65 seconds to go in regulation. And here it is once again. Colorado State had been pressuring Villanova all day long. Petrangelo with a shot. Lorata thought he had it. And Ryan Andor, the former Oklahoma Warrior from the Knoll, pots it home for his 9th of the season for the freshman. So we get a look at today's 3 stars, brought to you by Sid's Barbecue and Jerky. Ryan Andor with a game-winning goal. He gets the first star. Connor Schuckman with 2 points on the afternoon, a goal and an assist. And Chamberlain Nocera, 28 saves on 29 shots faced, with the Rams cleaning up and sweeping the Stars, presented by Sid's Barbecue and Jerky. But that will do it for today's coverage of Colorado State versus Villanova. On behalf of Mark McClure, our technical director, my name is Trey Wright. We implore you to watch the final 3:07 of Grand Canyon versus Stony Brook over with James Witherite's coverage over on the other side of the 412. But on behalf of James Witherite, Molly Jo Rosen, everybody that makes the Delaware Hockey Network and the 412 special in what they are, my name is Trey Wright saying so long from Gold Arena. We'll see you when we see you.